Perfect. Oh, good. Ooh, perfect. Oh, identity, you're perfect. Hey, baby. Send me your digits. Identity, you're a streamer now. How's it feel?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Fined?
Yep,
How are you going to get fined?
it's a joke. There was a football player in all his post-game conferences. He hated talking to the press, so we would just tell him that he was here so he didn't get
Oh.
fined.
Oh, because it's like contractual. They have to do the post game, whatever, whatever's. Oh, yeah. That's pretty funny, actually. So, yeah, so I guess tonight we're going to be talking about this book, which you can't actually, you can't really. There you go. Yeah. The light makes it so you can't really see it. Do you guys like my just chatting overlay? I changed it slightly so it's appropriate for a just chatting stream. I think. What do you think, Identity?
I think we need to get you a sponsor. There's a lot of real estate that you could be selling right now.
I don't
Some
think
sort of beer company.
I do want a beer company sponsor. I do. I've got this like media package I've been putting together for myself. So I have See You All Later by Opus. I have been thinking about it, but I just feel like I'm not important enough yet. So I'm hesitant to send it off to anybody because it's just like, I feel like, I don't know, I don't have enough viewers or enough views or enough clout to like warrant somebody giving me free beer. Can I have my thing now? Bjorn, we're doing it. We're doing it at 1 hour and 38 minutes. I have to say, one thing I'm really digging so far about this Just Chatting stream. Hey, Livin, Laylinda, how's it going? Welcome to our book club. Yeah, you did, Bjorn. I know. Hey, Jaywalking, I dig it. Oh, thanks. What's up, Jaywalking? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Loving your hair? Thank you. Yeah, I actually curled it today because I was like, ooh, no headset. Hey. But that's what I was going to say is actually, I'm really digging the no headset because the noise, my music and identity, even your voice, it's so much quieter, so I don't get feedback into the mic. It actually brings my volume and I feel like my energy down. Normally, when I've got my headsets on, I'm like screaming at you guys on stream because everything is so loud in my head. And so, like, I feel like I have to like elevate to match it. So it's nice. I'm feeling very chill. Putting together a media package. Sounds like you're an expert in media to help. Hides. No, Wheelie, it's okay. I'm actually already done with it. And one of my best friends is in marketing, and she gave me some feedback on it already. Hey, Kilraith, how's it going? Looking mighty pretty today, Jess. Thank you, Kilraith. Jess, here is some infinite cheese for you. Oh, identity, thank you. Thank you for that cheese. That tastes real good. Mm. Okay, so I guess should we start the damn thing? The Wizard of Earthsea. Okay, before I say mine, identity, first impressions in a few sentences. Overall, what did you think? What did you feel? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Would you ever read it again? Go. Hey, thank you for the follow. Beans? Bens? Bens! Hello, Bens! All of the Bens! Oh shit, all of the Bens just followed me. Okay, identity. Go.
So, to anybody out there that's pondering it, it is very more young adult than something a more matured reader
Yes.
would find entertaining.
Yes, 100%.
But it does lay some good groundwork for the following books of the series. But
Yeah, I agree with that.
I also don't find that redeeming enough for what this book did. It just, it's a bit too slow, or it's a bit too short, and they try to evolve a character in too short of a span of time that you can never feel invested in one stage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then it ends abruptly, and you're like, well, I want to know about this. Right at the end, you started to get interesting with where this is going to go, and then you leave us.
Yeah, Hados, which says, "Let's talk about the author and their life first." I don't know. I don't know anything about her. The author, the author is Ursula K. Le Guin. I don't know anything about her, so that's done. Check. Talk about the author and her life. But identity, I totally agree with you. So yeah, I guess I will parrot that disclaimer. I did not know when I suggested this book, and I hey, thank you for the host, Sog. Nice to see you. I will take 100% responsibility in saying I picked the worst book ever for book club. I'll be a young adult forever. Well, then, Lady Snowfox, you might actually like it. Um, I didn't know this was a young adult genre when I picked it. So actually, I have something I pulled up on the internet to justify my pick of such a garbage book. And so I just want to, I feel like I have to like explain myself. So when I looked this book up online, and Identity, I don't know if you looked up anything. Did you like Google it or anything, or did you just jump right in and read it?
You said the book title. I was on Amazon moments later and just read it.
Yes, that is basically what I did as well, at a recommendation by someone I can't remember online. So when I Googled it, because I started Googling it, I think after like a chapter or so in, not before I picked it. And so like it's like so heroic protagonist, Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter, all these things, and it's like nothing yet so far says young adults, nothing says it's for teenagers. Here, look at this. Arguably the most widely admired American fantasy novel in the past 50 years.
I read that too after I got done with the series. I started to research.
Did
and
you?
I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, this is no. There's no way.
There's
And
no
if that
way.
is true, then American authors just suck.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up. Oh, what's wrong screen? I just wanted to bring that up and just defend myself, because the internet made it sound like this book was good. And if you look it up on Goodreads, I should have pulled that up, but if you look it up on Goodreads is like wonderful book, applause, applause, great job. Like it's got like 4 out of 5 stars, which is, first of all, I don't use Goodreads for book suggestions anymore. Do you, Identity?
No, I get book suggestions from friends or just
Yeah.
if I see something hot
But
on
that can
Reddit or
go
something.
awry too, because this book that we read for book club was a recommendation of, actually not really a friend, but somebody from the stream. So I guess I can't really trust that necessarily because I don't know their personalities. But yeah, see, I agree with you. I think Goodreads is just, everything is like 5 out of 5 stars, no matter how shit the book is.
So I will say, for newer readers, this is great. It's not a huge investment of time,
Yeah.
and it does show a character develop in that short span, so you kind of get to see the character development and some of the roles,
Yeah.
even if I don't like the story itself, from a learning about good book structure, it did, it showed them taking a character at the beginning of the book that you look at the end of the book, and you can kind of see the story that happened and understanding the person that they are now.
I mean, I see what you're saying. And so Lady Snowfox said in the chat, I've been enjoying it, although I like fantasy, it's easy and stress relieving. I actually don't disagree with that for the first half of the book. And Identity, I would be curious to hear, so again, just like the broad overview of how we felt about the book, I actually thought the first half wasn't garbage. I kind of was like, okay, the first couple chapters when he's a boy, so it's a little bit of a coming of age novel, this first book in the series, because you find out about his childhood and his upbringing into mage wizardry or whatever, and I thought that the first half of it was too rushed for character development, so I agree with you there, Identity. But it wasn't terrible. Like, it was fine. I was like, okay, I'm investing. Okay, I can see where this is going. I thought he'd be a young boy for more of the book since the book is so short, which I was kind of turned off by right away. I don't generally like books or movies or TV shows where the protagonist is like a young boy, because I have no I don't identify with that. Like Harry Potter, like it's really great story, and I know a lot of people love it, but like it when I was younger, it never captured me. You know. Hey, Callie
Young boys,
Wood, how's it going? Callie
young
Wood's
boys are idiots.
yeah. So the giveaway is only for subs, so you can come in and enter, but unfortunately, only subs will win. But that's awesome. You have to be a sub. Yeah, you do have to be a sub. I think legally I can't do that. Hey, I'll explain it to you later. I can't restrict other people from entering, but the only people that will be eligible to win are subs. Yeah. So it really doesn't change anything that other people can enter. But Callie Wood, you're welcome to sub to the channel. That would be awesome. Welcome to my life. And then I will give you this beautiful Amazon Fire tablet that I will mail to you. Copy that. Yeah. So hey, Callie Wood, what's up? Welcome. Hey, Kara, Jess hates kids. I mean, a little bit. Sorry, not sorry. Brian, hive away. Banana hammock giveaway. Hey, Boo Janky, what's going on? So back to kind of what I was saying then, identity. What did you think about the first half versus the second half? Because I felt very differently. The second half, I hate, like the last couple chapters, I had to drag myself through. And the first half of the book, I wasn't in love with it, but I read it easily.
So the first half, really the first like chapter or two, really strong in introducing us to the world of Earthsea and kind of setting up the magic system. I thought that was really well laid out.
Yeah, and it was done kind of delicately, you know? Like, they didn't, like, really force explanations on you. They did it really smoothly, I thought.
Yep, and there's a very exciting parts, like, there's going to be a battle that happens pretty early on, and you get to kind of see, oh, wow, like, this kid has a lot of power behind him. And it feels like the longer the book developed, well, at least through the midsection for the most part, he didn't really go that crazy in power, like as you would expect, and more.
Yeah, he really didn't.
The schooling was very. They tried to rush a ton of school into a short amount of time, so you don't get to see anything exciting. And then by the end, I don't know, reading it, I kind of knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, same.
And it did happen, and it was like kind of disheartening that it ended in such a non-exciting way.
I totally agree with that. But I think they're setting it up because it's a series. And I think that when she wrote it, she knew it was going to be a series. I think that's why it's so short. I think that's why the character development was so expedited. There's a lot of, I think, holes in characters. Like, and we'll come back around how you feel about each character. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's one character in particular I really want to talk about. I feel like you already know who it is. But yeah, I totally agree. The ending really sucked some balls. That's all I have to say about that. But yes, I agree. Man, it almost, you know what it almost felt like is like someone, like one person wrote the first half of the book and then like was in a coma and somebody else had to pick it up and write the second half. Enter the giveaway. Yeah, enter the giveaway, you guys. Well, yeah, so overall, I did not like this book and I would not recommend it to anybody. With the disclaimer, I almost never enjoy young adult books. I will say that. It was okay. No, it wasn't. I didn't like it. I guess then we can talk about characters because, so let's start then with Ged, the main character. His name is Ged, or Sparrowhawk is kind of his like nickname or whatever. You had mentioned something about, you know, the alluding to him being really powerful. So the book opens, for those of you who haven't read it, the book opens with basically a giant fat spoiler alert. It's like he will become the archmage. He will be the most powerful wizard. And so like right from the outset, even though he's the protagonist and he's the young boy and he's, you know, it's a coming of age, you already kind of know going into it he's going to become powerful. Like otherwise why write a book about him? But like literally the book starts out talking about how he's going to be all powerful. And I just thought that was a really interesting thing, because then you jump into him being a boy and him, he watching his magic develop, and like Identity mentioned, it doesn't, he doesn't, even in school and all that, like, yeah, it says things like things came easy to him, and it said like things were I mean, what did he, it basically said he's a quick study and he was always ahead of everybody, but like he wasn't like that remarkable during his schooling. So I don't know, it was kind of interesting, because I kept thinking to myself, like, okay, when is his magic really going to explode? Like, when is he really going to become like the powerhouse that the beginning of the book kind of set him out to be? What did you think, ID? Hey, Sebi. How's it going?
Yeah, so I don't know if we're gonna come back to this, but you missed it, because right before the all-powerful he's gonna be Archmage one day,
Yeah.
in like page 2 or 3 of the book, we find Ged being chased down by a bunch of goats.
Yeah. But that was when he was a boy.
And I was like, okay, what sort of novel is this?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't gonna bring it up explicitly. You're welcome to bring up any topic or any part of the book that you want to talk about. And also, I would not, for the life of me, reread any parts of this. So you're probably refreshed on parts that I'm not, because I know that you reread a couple chapters. I did not, and I will not. But yeah, there's a part in the book where he's a young boy and he's just barely discovering magic, and there's a certain magic word that he can say, and it will bring animals to him. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. It will bring animals to him, and he tries this out on some goats, and then he says it again, and the goats just start getting closer and closer, and then he gets scared and has to like run away, and the goats chase him all the way into town, and yeah, he's pretty much a clusterfuck from the outset. So Lady Snowfox says there definitely could have been more character development during his school days. I agree. Hey, I'm going to school. I have 1.5 friends, and half of those friends is a rival, and that's it. Hey, I totally agree with that. Maybe that has to do with how we socially perceive how magic should be. What, like just only 50%, like a good versus evil, a rival versus friendship. Hey Darth, that's okay. If you didn't read the book, you can just hang out and listen to us talk about it and participate in the conversation. Snowfox, I definitely, I agree with that too. And I think I very actively thought about how dismayed I was they didn't really dive into the school age. And I think after finishing the book, because the first book, he goes from a child who doesn't know anything and is learning his first magic word all the way to becoming the archmage of all of the archipelago, whatever, all of the ultra mage of all the islands. Like, it's a huge, massive transformation this character makes in 170 something pages. So I think they could have spent an entire book on his like school years and develop more characters, kind of, let's say, Harry Potter-esque, but like actually build up some characters around him. I don't know, ID, were you really disappointed in the supporting character lack of development?
I definitely think it was more of a author decision on that the focus was going to be on Ged, and just kind of having that one character develop. But then again, this is written as a YA.
Yeah, YA young adult.
Not complicating things too much, I think, is probably the reason for the author's choice on that.
Yeah, and I guess the simplicity of like childlike friendship through a child's eyes, right? You're either my friend or you're not my friend. So I guess that, if you put it in that context, that's not super crazy. I don't know, I guess just disappointing for me. But Snowfox says, we think it should be more extravagant like Harry Potter, but but in the book, the most powerful wizard really limit their magic for a reason. That we didn't see anything extravagant magic-wise. Yeah, I agree, Snowfox. I think on the magic front, and maybe before we go back into the characters, because I really want to talk about Jasper. But before we go back into the characters, I guess just like some commentary on, you know, the idea of magic in this book, right? And like how subtle it is and understated, and like a lot of their magic is just illusions, not really like true magic, and everything is so limited. I really liked the whole balance thing, and the stressing about balance and how magic, you know, they had to be careful, because I do feel like in a lot of you know, fantasy magic type books, it's like magic is just this free flowing thing. And, you know, as a scientist, as a physicist, you know, matter is, you know, neither created or destroyed. It's, you know, repurposed, let's say. And from that standpoint alone, I really like that this maintenance of, oh my God, Snow Fox, let me just tell you. So I don't agree with you, Snow Fox, by the way. But I really like this idea of them forcing themselves to constantly limit their magic, and the idea of the balance. And I really like that. What, did you have any thoughts on that identity?
So I think it's important for those that are in here that haven't read it to kind of explain the magic system a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's a
before we
good
talk
point.
about it.
That's a good point. So I guess, so the magic system in this book, for those that are interested that haven't read it, I get, well, I'll explain from my, how dare you disagree with LSF. Yes, Tony, I do disagree with her, and I will explain when we go back to Jasper, because I'm sure we all have a lot of thoughts about Jasper. But okay, so the magic system in this book, or in this universe, none of us have read it. That's true. Nobody has read it. It's really interesting and different. So it's not just magic words that conjure some spell. It's all about what the true names of things are. So imagine, I guess from my perspective, imagine there's some ancient language that everyone has, let's say, forgotten or whatever. It's written down somewhere, but no one really knows. And that ancient language has this like inherent power that if you say the name of a falcon, or if you say the name of a goat, you can kind of control it, let's say, or you can, you know, you can have power over it. And so the whole book is really obsessed with knowing people's names. And the mages keep their true name really closely held. And their true names are very rarely said aloud, and they're very rarely shared with other people. Because to give away the true name, you know, is to basically allow someone to have power over you. And so part of Ged learning magic, he has to learn a lot of words. It's like he's learning a foreign language. He goes to study in this like tower with all these books, and he just has to study words and memorize words. And one example that I thought was amazing, and probably the most beautiful portrayal of the magic system in the book, was when they were talking about controlling water, controlling the oceans. And they were explaining how if you know the word for ocean, there's actually a different word from like the big ocean of the world, and like an inner ocean, like, you know, the like an inlet, or the ocean that's really close to shore that's kind of narrow. And there's different names for all these different, like, you know, whatever. Hey, Baker Base, thanks for the sub. Yeah, go ahead and enter the giveaway now that you're a sub. So yeah, so it said in the book, if a mage was to try to like cast a spell, if the mage was trying to control the ocean, but he didn't know the name of every single local inlet of ocean to all of the local areas, he couldn't actually control all of the ocean. He could only control the small parts of it that he knew the names of. And so in this, it's a very, very beautiful, I think, limiting factor of their magic, because you can't just say, I control birds. You know, you have to know the name of every single bird that you want to control. You have to know its true, actual name. And then you can control and will with magic those birds, let's say. And I thought that was really, really cool. Because it's not just like, here's the spell to control the ocean. You had to know it, you know? What did you think, Identity? What was your take on it?
It was an interesting magic system, one that I've not seen before.
Yeah.
So the idea behind it was very neat. And then also it was the fact that, like, you brought it up with ocean. It didn't have to be like a living, breathing thing that you could take control of. They had the ability to control the wind.
Yeah, the wind, the mage
the
wind.
Water.
Yeah.
And even the way they magically repaired boats, it was not really that they're bringing something out of nothing. It's like they're using energy, because they even said it's like, if I quit this spell, it would be flooded. So they're like using magic to will these two pieces of board together.
Yeah.
And it's a very unique magic system.
Yeah.
That for what they used it for, they did it really well.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was really great. I was pretty happy about it. That was one thing about the book I did like. So this is going to be a hate fest on my part. Disclaimer for those that are just coming into the stream. I fucking hated this book. But there were things that I did enjoy, and there were things that I liked. I think that when I read books or when I experience fiction that's definitely suggested by other people, Baker Base, you can do ! book. Oh, thanks, ID. Yeah, so even if I didn't like it and I struggled to finish it, I still can find things about it that I appreciated. And so here's the book, Baker Base. So we're talking about Earthsea. The first book in the series is A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Identity didn't like it. Lady Snow Fox hasn't finished it yet, so she hasn't gotten to the point where it just goes downhill and plummets. So I'll be curious if she finishes it, if she liked it. But yeah, the magic system was probably my favorite, maybe the only thing I liked about the book. Just because it was so unique. And I loved the limitations, and I loved the balance. I thought that those were very cool in a fantasy world where normal fantasy books seem so unlimited, you know? Yes, Baker Base, good luck. How many people entered now? Let me see. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, but so we got 9 people that entered, but I think 2 people aren't subs. So I think that means there are probably only 7 or 8 people that entered that are subs. So if you entered and you're not a sub, so you can actually win. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, the magic in this book was so interesting, very unusual. And yeah, Identity, you were right. I should have explained it. I'm getting used to this idea of not just a book club live stream, but also a book club where it's probably going to be the case where most of the people in the book club or watching have not read the book before. So, hello, Abe, Abe JG123. What's up, Abe? How you doing? Welcome to the book club. We on all chill vibes tonight. Snow Fox, do you think that you'll finish it now that there's no book club pressuring you? And the book for this next month is really good. I've started it and I'm already like about 3 chapters in. Did I miss the giveaway? Aldana! Enter, do ! Giveaway. Just like it says. Oh, no, I don't know how to point. Right there. Yes! I mostly entered to test my luck. Well, Saw, good luck! I hope you win. Yeah, I mean, I just love talking books. You can say Abe. Okay, honest Abe, thanks for coming by. A-B-E, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. All right, well, so back to the character conversation, I suppose. Since we talked a little bit about Ged, I'm sure we'll keep coming back to him a lot. Because we really haven't talked about his character development, but I'm like dying. I'm like foaming at the mouth wanting to talk about Jasper. Do you want to talk about Jasper Identity?
Sure.
Sure. Well, okay,
well, I'm
so
just thinking, should we break it down into sections and like talk about preschool, then school,
yeah,
and then post school?
Yeah, we definitely can. So I think that totally works because Jasper really is only in the school part.
Right.
Which I guess that's where I'll start. Hey Abe, thank you for the follow. That's so awesome. BRB eating dinner. Okay, Snow Fox. So in that vein, so if we're gonna stick to just the school part, I will talk about Jasper. So for those of you who haven't read the book, which is everybody, but for those of you who haven't read the book, so Ged goes from his small town. Well, I guess school. I guess if we start with school, it kind of skips over.
Right. I was thinking we sort of talk about his origin story. We can flesh out kind of what turned him into a wizard, or how he king to be like starting to hone his power.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't you discuss? I mean, I found his origin story from when he was a childhood before. What's his mentor's name? Agion or
I always said Ogun.
Ogun? Ogun. But it's I-O-N. Ogion. Ogion. I still feel lost on the events of this book. Oh, well, so I guess a book club where no one has read the book, maybe we should start with just a synopsis. I didn't think about this. So my only experience with book clubs is like you get in a room with people who've already read it, so you actually don't summarize the book. Hey, bro.
That's why I'm thinking if we break it down to like,
yeah,
while he's on Rogue at the start, and we can talk about the different characters on Rogue. And
yeah.
Then we'll talk about his school after that and what prompted him to get there, and then kind of the back end, which is his journey.
That's a really good idea. This is such a I'm realizing as we're doing this, hey Rogue, we're talking about this book right here. Do !book in the chat and you will see what book we're reading, or we read and now we're discussing. So yeah, that's a really good point. This is such an interesting evolution doing this online book club thing. Okay, so so the book starts out with Ged, who actually is not called Ged yet. I don't remember, what is his childhood name? Not Sparrowhawks, that's his nickname.
He has a very odd name. It's Dunny.
Dunny, that's right. Oh yeah, his childhood name is Dunny. So he is Dunny. And he lives in a very small village, like a kind of old timey goats and bales of hay and just an old village by the sea. And there are people in these villages that can do witchcraft, but it's usually pretty minor witchcraft, like helping people heal. Hey C-Dep, how's it going? Helping people heal, doing very minor spells and kind of like trickery type of witchcraft, like just backwoods, small town stuff. And there was a woman in Dunny's. Dunny is Ged, so at this point he's not named Ged yet. Eldana. Okay, I'll give that to you. That goes to Tony. Oh, that's so nice. Tony, look how bad people want you to win. So Dunny, like, Dunny, remind me, how does he learn his first word with the whole goats and everything? How does he learn his first word?
So he's out being a kid and trying to impress people because he always gets picked on. And he says the true name of the goats, and then they all like come around him, and at first like it's all great and everything, but then they just keep pushing on him and he winds up running away. And an old witch who I think they said it was his aunt.
Oh, you're right, it was his aunt, because she kind of didn't give a shit about him, and I was like, oh wow.
But then when she found out that he was able to call animals true names, she perked up and was like, hey, I can I totally missed that.
You're fine.
She's
you're fine.
like, oh hey, here's more stuff you can do. And then he started to learn from her until the big battle scene. But she was the one that taught him how to control the wind and control fog.
Yeah, that's true. So that small town that he grew up in, where I was mentioning they have, like, you know, small time witches and people to do witchcraft in the towns. Those for his Danilo Fonseca 6, loving the ears. Thanks, Danny. Danilo. Thanks, Danilo. But yeah, so for the town that he grew up in, their like local witch is his aunt. And that's one thing that I thought was really interesting about this story, is in the beginning it said very clearly, like, oh yeah, his aunt kind of didn't give a shit about him, like, at all. She was like disinterested in him. like he just could have died and she would have been like whatever. But then when she finds out that he might harness magic power and that he could potentially be like a mage or a wizard, she's like, oh, I will teach you, come. And I thought, I was like, really? This bitch over here, this is your flesh and blood. And she gave no shits about him until he started showing that he could potentially be a magic crafter. So yeah, after this incident, he learns a word to be able to call animals to him, and that's where that funny that funny incident where he tries to call the goats, and all the goats start chasing him, and he gets all fucking scared and has to like try to run away. But after that incident, that's when she actually starts teaching him. And actually starting teaching him like really minor witchcraft and like how to control animals, and that's how he gets the nickname Sparrowhawk. Is he one of his like favorite animals to call to him was the Sparrowhawk, and so like kids around him used to start calling him that. And I thought it was really interesting, the whole Sparrowhawk nickname, and his kind of affinity for animals in particular was really nicely tied into later in the book, which I guess we'll get to, when he's got that little pet, the Oset, the Osat?
Otek.
Otek, that's right, the Otek. It's basically like a little gerbil is how I pictured it in my head. He basically has this little gerbil that he like makes his like life partner pet. And it's really cute, and like he carries it around like for the whole book basically. And I just thought that was kind of an interesting theme from his childhood, that his first magic words was not controlling the wind. Well, actually, it was the mist, which we'll get to that, or the fog. It wasn't, controlling weather or people or healing. His like first really love of magic is interacting with the animals and calling animals to him. And having that theme go through the book, but very, very subtly, I thought was kind of cool also. Did you ever have thoughts about that, ID?
You thought way more about that than I did.
I suppose. I just really, his little gerbil friend, I just thought that was a really cute part of the book. I really appreciated that. Okay, so back, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it also felt though that pretty quickly it went from like, hey, this is cool, but this doesn't do as much as I need. Like, I need more.
Him as a boy, are you talking about his interaction with the magic?
Yeah, and was like, okay, I need to become more powerful, and he kind of discarded that. He kept the Otak for most of the book, but in terms of like calling animals, he kind of deemed that childish pretty quickly, I think, in the future.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't like do more
mainly
of it.
Because of Jasper.
Well, yeah, because Jasper's kind of a dick. But also, he's a dick. Ged is a dick. He's an asshole. He's an asshole. He's childish. He's impetuous. I don't like Ged. Sorry. I just jumped
like
right in there. Yeah, you didn't like him either. Okay, so going back to the beginning stories. So he starts to learn these words and starts to learn a little bit. And one big theme in the book, especially so Earthsea. Hey, Ozzy, thank you for the raid. How's it going? Hello, Ozzy. Hello, Ozzy Raiders. Tonight is our book club. Part of the book club, if you are a current sub, you can enter. Well, everybody can enter, but you can only win if you're a sub. You can win this Amazon Fire tablet that we're doing the giveaway for. I can't point that way. So the giveaway is right there. We're going to do it in 1 hour. So enter to win. I'm confused. You love Ged? No, I hated Ged. Ged is trash. Wait, are you trolling me, Baker Base? Okay, so back to his like origin stories. Yeah, so he's in this small town. His aunt's teaching him words. He's learning to like control animals and all of that. And I think really the true test of his potential and the true test of his magic abilities. Ged is dead. No, Ged didn't die, Tony. Ged is alive. Ged is the protagonist. He can't die. He's Batman. Batman doesn't die. But okay, so what happens is some people invade their region. So I can't remember the name of the people that invade. Do you remember their name?
I thought they were just pirates. that
Yeah,
go
I mean they weren't
nowhere
important to the
small,
yeah, they weren't important to the
small islands.
story. They were only in this one little bit. So I guess it doesn't really matter what their name is. But invaders, pirate invaders came and they were wreaking havoc. Spoiler, Batman does die. No, he does not. You cannot beat up Batman. He's powerful. The cake is a lie. So yeah, so these guys come and they're wreaking havoc and they're burning towns and they're attacking people and it's terrible. Like and the little town that Gedda grew up in, it's like 10 men. Like it's a very very tiny village, not town, it's a village. And these men are coming and they're gonna kill everybody basically. And so what Ged does is he calls up no, not Miss. That's Mistborn. I'm getting it mixed up. Identity. So he calls up fog, like a thick, thick fog, to save the town. And he made it so the attackers couldn't see anything. Like he made the fog so thick, basically everyone was blinded. And all of actually, the cake is you. Ooh, I'm a sweet treat. But basically, these attackers, like, they were so blinded by the fog, and the villagers knew their own village so well, they were able, the thick fog is thick. This fog was thick. You know what I'm saying? It was like that thick fog. And so the villagers, they lead the pirate attackers to a cliff and basically, like, trick them into jumping off a cliff. And the ones that didn't fall off the cliff ran away because they were scared. And so basically Ged saved his whole village by using this magic trickery, by making this, fog envelop the whole town and saved them. And so everyone was like, oh, we thought you were the weird kid that got chased by goats. And now we're like, whoa, dang. What did you think, ID?
You tell a more exciting story than I do.
Well, what were your thoughts on it?
No, it was really cool, and a key point here that I think you missed.
Yeah.
Was as they were attacking, Ged starts to say the words of the fog, the words of the wind. He's calling all these things to command them so that he can make them do what he needs.
Yeah.
And as he's doing that initially, his father smacks him on the back of the head.
That's right.
And died, and so he's already in a position where, like, people don't believe in him, and
Yeah.
so it kind of sets up the arc for he's always trying to go above and beyond to prove himself.
That's a
I think
very
that was a very key development piece, but
very
the rest
very
of that,
important part. Yeah, it's very subtle, but you're right, it's a very important part. So I did miss that. His father and everybody in the town think Dunny is a dummy. Like Dunny the dummy, they should have nicknamed him. Like everybody kind of picked on him, and his father was a really manly, burly, blacksmithing kind of dude. And in these type of villages, it's always like, the son will take over the father's craft, and like at one point Dunny was helping them make weapons to protect themselves against the pirates, and he's like looking at his own arms and he's like, I'm such a weak little bitch, but he knows within him there's power. And he has this moment where he's like, I know I'm powerful, I just don't know how to I don't know how or in what way to harness the power that I feel within me. And yeah, so when these attackers come and Dunny is having this moment where he's like, I have to protect the town with magic. Yeah, his father smacks him and is just like, if you can't fight, run away. Don't just stand there like an idiot mumbling, because he didn't know what he was doing. And yeah, so identity, that's a really good point. It also, I think, sets up a really important point for Dunny, Ged, his character throughout the book of kind of being a tryhard and always kind of wanting more and wanting to not impress people, but wanting to prove himself. Always having this like, hey, sliced bread, how's it going? Coming through from the IGs. What's up? Yeah, so he spends the rest of the book kind of, in my opinion, being an asshole in the sense of like, you could have just turned the other cheek. Like, if people are picking on you, just be like, whatever, your opinion doesn't matter. But since childhood, he had this complex of people picking on him, even his own father, even his aunt who wanted nothing to do with him until he showed a little bit of promise, Yeah, really important point that you bring up, ID. I love having a conversation with people about books because I wouldn't have even remembered that part, but it is pretty significant. Hey, happy zombie, how's it going? Hello from the grave. Oh, you lovely zombie. Did you have a nice Did you have a nice death this morning? You don't sleep. You're a zombie. Yeah, so I guess that brings us up to the point where Dunny is a dummy. The whole town doesn't think he's very awesome. But he saves the whole town and kind of proves himself to be more than just a small village witchcraft kind of person. And that kind of brings us to, I guess, phase 2 of the book. So we had the childhood, him growing up in the village, and then we move on.
We need to quickly touch on Ojin.
Yeah, so Ojin comes and finds him. That's kind of, I see that as like phase 2 before he goes to the school, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so Ojin, hey Gladsuit, don't forget to exclamation point, giveaway to enter to win. Happy Zombie, if you decide that you want to sub to the channel, we're doing a giveaway for subs today. You can win this Amazon Fire tablet. Also sliced bread, you are a sub, so you can enter. Yeah, so Ojin is a master mage, and he is well known. People respect him. I can't remember all of his history, but I think for Ged's perspective, it's not terribly important, other than knowing he's very important, very influential, and well-respected mage in the world that is this book. And he hears of Ged's triumph with the fog. And Ged's like, what, 12, 13 years old? He's pretty young at this point in the book. That's the old model, bro. Well, I mean, that's fine. If you don't want it, don't enter, Happy Zombie. Wow. I mean, I have it. This is my version. This is the Fire 7. I'm very happy with it. Wow. I'm like, here, you guys, here's a free tablet. And Happy Zombie's like, yo, that's old. Anyway, so Ogin. Wait, what do you call him? Ogin? Ojin. Ojin. Yeah, that's the thing with reading. You always pronounce things just the way you see it in your head. So Ojin comes to the town because he hears about this incredible feat that this very young boy did, and shows that he has the potential to be a really great mage. And so Ojin comes and he basically tells the father, like, look, I will take your kid. Like, I will take him and I will teach him. I'll send him to the best school, or I will give him the best resources. Like, he will become my mentee. He will become my progeny, essentially. Unfollow for trying to bribe me with old tech. Oh, I'm sorry, Happy Zombie. I deserve that unfollow. You're right. I should know better. So what were your thoughts about meeting Ojin? ID?
He's awesome. I think he had probably a very interesting past with the way he walks today.
Yeah.
And he's probably seen some stuff.
He's definitely seen some stuff.
Comparison, Jess, if you earmuff real quick, he's kind of like Yoda.
Oh, no, that's okay. You can talk about it. I'm just gonna... It's fine.
So,
it's fine.
Kind of like Yoda.
It's fine. Go ahead.
He's super powerful, but he's wise beyond needing to use the power 99% of the time.
So he's basically like Picard.
I might disconnect from the...
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, okay, so I very much agree with you, though. So for everybody listening, I'm giving him a hard time because I'm a Star Trek fan. But yeah, he's right. He is very Yoda-esque in the sense of, like, he doesn't talk in riddles, but he almost... Ojin's thing is he doesn't talk much. He's very silent. Like, his whole character development is he's a man of very few words. So just like Yoda is kind of like a riddle maker, Ojin is more like he makes his progeny, or he makes his, mentee figure things out through a lot of silence and through a lot of just, quiet, contemplative thoughts and actions. And yeah, so he's he's powerful without him having to show or say it. No. My God, Baker Base. So Ojin comes. He takes Dunny. So his name is still Dunny at this point. He hasn't been named Ged yet. He takes Dunny away, and he basically takes him just where he lives, and they just move into Ojin's house. And I think this is the start of a chapter where Dunny is going to learn all of his magic, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is like the part where he becomes a powerful mage. And as the story goes on, like, nothing really happens. Like, Ojin makes him go pick flowers, and he tells him to enjoy and, like, go and pick flowers for as long as you want, or, you know, herbs and things that for them to do kind of like small time crafts and spells with. But he doesn't really teach him anything. And, like, day after day goes on, and so much time goes on, and you kind of see Dunny starting to get frustrated. They don't talk a lot. And it's just this kind of almost a lull in the story where you're holding your breath, waiting for something interesting to happen. ID, how did you feel about, like, going into this section, and then when we were into this section, like, did you feel kind of let down?
Definitely, and this section actually started, Ged used up a lot of his power calling that fog.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was kind of in a mage sleep and couldn't be stirred. So this guy comes in, wakes him up, explains that I'm basically going to take you as my apprentice. And I think at that time he already knew how powerful. He's like, one day you are going to be the ruler of us all.
Yeah. But then for now, just go pick some flowers.
And then it turns into, I'm going to teach you a little bit, but I'm going to teach you the lesson that you don't want to know because you're a kid. And the frustration really starts right there with Ojin, or Ged at this point is just an annoying teenager, and you see everything that's going to happen before it's written, and you're like annoyed with, okay, you're doing the stupid thing.
Yeah.
And so we see the first big stupid thing right here, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so in this section of the book, a couple things I think I took note of. One is what I was mentioning of, I thought this was going to be his big development, and it really wasn't. It was just this long lull where he doesn't really learn anything. He's frustrated. The reader is frustrated. You're really confused, like, okay, why did Ojin take him if he's not going to teach him anything, if he's not going to, like what is the point of this? Like, is he just waiting for him to grow up? And rather than, okay, Di Fox, we'll see you when you get back. Rather than him becoming a mentor, he just becomes like a father figure, but like a do-nothing father figure. And I was just really confused. And then so one other thing that happened during this time period is they introduce a female character. And so maybe they introduced this character to bring her back in, in future books, which I think there's a lot of holes in the story that maybe the author did intentionally because she wants to have that moment where the reader's like, oh, that's the girl from book 1, because Dunny stumbles across a girl that he becomes pretty immediately infatuated with, but that storyline literally goes nowhere. Like, absolutely nowhere. Like, it's almost like in the book she's there 1 second and then gone the next. Like, there's no development. You kind of get really excited at first because you're just like, ooh, and she might have some magic with her too, and they're picking the same flowers, and you're just like, oh dang, this is gonna be like a coming of age story with a little romance in it, and there's not. What did you think about this female character that popped up in this section, ID?
Basically, the introduction is pretty much what you'd kind of expect from this kind of age group and where the story was headed. So yeah, it's just that infatuation.
Yeah.
Alluring.
Hey, Mule.
I was a little
How's it going? Go ahead.
curious because the more that she was pressing him, I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something really stupid soon.
Yeah.
For the girl.
Yeah, she was trying to get information
it's
or
just
magic
such an
information
old,
from
it's
him.
such an old trope, and it's like the whole time that he's worried about this girl, like he's learning the exact opposite lesson of Ojin. Like, think through things, see things, hear Ojin's big thing is you can't hear anything if you're talking,
Right.
and you're watching him basically take everything that he's being taught, throw it out the window, and that was just frustrating.
Yeah, because
as
he's
a
an
reader,
impetuous
you're
child.
like, you see it coming, and you're like, please.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an impetuous child at this point. He was in the village. He is at this point in the book. He stays that way through the entire book. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought this like momentary thing in the. I mean, what could it have possibly been? Like a whole 10 pages they use on these characters that are completely like gone. It's just like, why even introduce us to these new characters and get us excited about a potential branch in the storyline, and then they're just dead to us. Crazy. My mom just got home from the hospital. Oh, Mule. Well, sending good vibes to your mom for a speedy recovery. Yeah, I hope she's doing better also. Yeah, so I guess moving on from there, so Ojin has taken Dunny in and basically done nothing. Ojin is trying to teach him a very slow, very thoughtful practice. But Dunny has proved to be...
I think there's probably backstory there where because he understands pretty early on how powerful Ged is going to be one day.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I didn't pick up on that, but now that you say that, so...
But I think he's way more powerful than we really know. But I think he had some things in his past that he was trying to teach the lesson so that Ged wouldn't follow the path he had taken to where now he's so quiet and reserved, because he's seen how big power can just ruin lives.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point that I didn't really ever think about, because I kind of always just was frustrated and thought it was just Ojin's way to be slow and thoughtful. But you're right, Dunny/Ged doesn't know, really. I mean, I guess he kind of knows, but he really doesn't know the power that's within him. He kind of suspects it, but he doesn't really know. And I think Ojin and other great mages do, and they are aware of it. And yeah, maybe that's why he wanted to be really slow and teach Dunny patience and how to be careful with his craft, which he does not learn. So that's so interesting. That puts a totally different tone on the Ojin part of the book that I hadn't really thought about. Huh. Book club.
Yeah, because later on, when running from the shadow, he winds up going back to what he calls his true master.
Yeah. Ojin.
And even though he kind of disagreed with his teaching methods, there's times where he shadows back to, I wish I could just be walking through the woods right now, and how that was the right way. So I think he's just a really wise master, but
yeah,
they're pretty girls to impress, so
yeah,
we know how that goes.
Girls with pretty flowers. Yeah. Yeah, that's so interesting what you bring up there. Well, yeah, okay, so fast forward a little bit. So basically the reader's frustrated and Dunny is frustrated, and honestly, I don't think Ojin gets frustrated, but I think Ojin realizes that maybe he doesn't know the best way to teach Dunny or the best way to go about this, or maybe he knows it, but he doesn't know it. I don't know. He gives Dunny a choice. He can either...
There's actually a big plot point.
This part?
That we're gonna skip over with that, which I can recap.
Oh, you could recap it, yeah.
So the girl is always asking Ged. I think it's just easier to call him Ged for the rest of the story because he's been named. So the girl asks Ged almost every day.
Sideline. Ojin is
something.
The one who gives him the name.
Yes. And she's like, hey, can you do this with magic? And he's like, perhaps, if I wanted to. And he would get so frustrated all the time, not knowing if the girl was taunting him or not.
Yeah.
But also there's some foreshadowing, because she asks him to call down a bird, and so he calls down a hawk. And normally they would come sit on his shoulders, but when he was right next to her, it would just hover above his head, but it didn't want to actually get down on him. and because
Meow, thank you
that
for
bird
the
understood
host.
kind of the evil that was coming from the girl. And we find out later that that girl is an enchantress who tries to use wizard's power for evil. And she asked Ged one day to, like, impress her. And so he goes searching through O'Gian's tomes and finds a spell to bring somebody back from the dead.
Yeah.
And he starts to mutter the words of the spell, and this kind of ethereal thing comes out and starts to attack Ged. Ojin walks in before the whole thing is said, and he's able to kind of stop it, and everything goes back to normal, except for Ged got effed up a little bit by this, whatever this thing was.
Yeah.
And at that point, O'Giant realizes he wants more than what I'm willing to offer right now, so he tells Ged it's up to him. You can stay with me as my apprentice, and I'll continue to teach you the way I'm teaching you, or you can go to the middle of Earthsea, where all the, like, high mages are, and you can learn your craft there. To which Ged, desiring more power, more understanding, decides to go to the school.
Yeah.
And that
Dagger
is
in the
kinda
heart,
cool, that-
right? I came for our favorite doctor. Hey, Wonder Mog, welcome to Book Club. Yeah, dagger in the heart. So yeah, Ojin, whatever. He basically saves that. Yeah. So spoiler alert. So Ged has this experience where he tries to do a really dangerous, really dark, really evil spell. It goes wrong and he gets attacked. Spoiler alert. He tries that again later in the book. Fucking idiot. But yeah, so his master, his mentor gives him this choice. You can stay with me, or you can go away to a school where there's master mages. And Ged chooses to go to the school. Kill me. My heart broke because this guy has been like a father figure and he's loved him dearly and they've built this beautiful relationship. But yeah, Ged is just hungry for more power and he's impatient and he wants more and more and more. So this leads us into the second part of the book where he goes to the School for Wizards. And I think that's the name of the chapter, right? A School for Wizards. Which I was like, okay, Harry Potter, a School for Wizards. So this begins the part of the book of his kind of more of his coming of age, I guess. I guess the whole first half of the book is where he starts to grow up a little bit, but this is really where he learns a lot of his magic. But so here in the school, the teaching is kind of like really takes the students into magic very slowly. And the first things they learn are illusions. And that's the big difference in the magic, what we were referring to in the magic and why I appreciate it from a scientist perspective about, matter is not created or destroyed. It's just, kind of recreated or repurposed. And in the book they explain, and the reason they teach the kids the way they do is most of the students, or most of the magic that they learn early on is all illusions. It's like they can make an apple appear, but you can feel the apple and you can touch it, but it's not, or you can even bite it, but it doesn't give you any sustenance. It's not real. It's an illusion. And that magic is so free-flowing and easy to do. But to make an actual apple, to recreate matter into the form of an apple and actually make a real thing is craft of the masters. And so for the first part of his learning at this mage school is they learn a lot of illusions, and everything's so easy for Ged, and everything's like just flows really well, and honestly he's bored by it, and he's just like always wants more and always wants to like do more, and everything's just easy and he's bored. And enter now his school age years the two other characters. I mean, he meets a lot of mages that he learns from, but I don't think any of them are very important as far as like the storyline. I don't know. Did you think so, ID? I mean, there's mages that they talk about very specifically that teach him things, but I didn't think any of them were very meaningful for like deep story content. Like none of them are Dumbledore. You know what I mean?
Outside of Vetch and Jasper, I mean,
yeah,
the Archmage that comes in right at the end of this section.
I mean, they're interesting, but they're
I
not
don't really
really...
remember his name, but he did give a kind of a parting word to him. But yeah, really, there wasn't anybody else you needed to know about other than Vetch and
Jasper. Yeah. So, okay, so enter the other two characters that you'll get to know throughout his school years, Vetch and Jasper. So you meet Jasper first. So Jasper is actually one of the first people that Ged interacts with at the school. And after Ged gets let into the school, there's a whole to do, but it's not really that important, so let's just skip over that. So after Ged gets into the school, the person who lets him in introduces him to Jasper, and he's like, this guy will show you around, and he's gonna introduce you to, you know, your new living space, because it's like a house they all live in, right? And Jasper immediately is very, very polite, very proper, and shows Ged a lot of very controlled respect. Ged responds to this like a fucking child, in my opinion. I think out the gate, whether it's fake or not, Jasper is very kind, very respectful, and very polite. And Ged, because he's used to everybody looking down on him, and because he's used to being picked on, and because he's used to just being the shit of everything everywhere, he's distrustful of this respect and politeness, and he thinks that Jasper's poking fun at him, and he thinks Jasper's talking down to him. So this whole very first interaction with Jasper, Ged is acting like a complete asshole and being really rude, really short, and really disrespectful. And I thought it was so inappropriate and made me very angry. ID?
Yeah, he definitely had something to prove right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And so I do agree with Jasper was really polite at the start. I don't really remember exactly when Ged flipped his opinion on him. He may have been uneasy at first, but I know early on the three of them are sitting outside and they're talking about where they're from, because the other two boys had never been to Guin, which Guin is the land that Ged came from. And so each of these islands kind of have a specialty in what sort of magic they're doing. So
right, that's true.
In Guin, they were herders and did a lot with the land and just animals. But these other places have, you know, different economies, and the importance of a certain type of magic is different from island to island. So these boys could, you know, create, like, pick up a twig and then make the twig turn into a lizard, and then the lizard ran off.
Illusion, though.
It's illusion. And then so when it comes to Ged, he's like, I can just kind of call animals to myself, and that's all he could really do at the time. And so it kind of felt like they were taunting him, but he's like, well, that's dumb magic anyways. But he was still jealous, and it was just very angsty and not. It was annoying as a reader to have to read through just that angst and just very annoying.
Yes, it really, really was. So for Vega and Mule that just came to the stream, welcome, hello. Just as a reminder, really excited about the giveaway that's going tonight, but you do have to be a sub to win, so you can enter, but only subs will have a chance to win. Oh no, did I just typo? Oh my gosh. Remember. Okay, I tried to type that while I was listening to Identities, so I'm going to make little typos every now and then. Oh Lord, I can't type. There. There. remember the 5th of November. Yeah. You guys don't call me out on my typos. I mean, actually do call me out on my typos. But you remember, you guys, you can always sub with your Amazon Prime for free. So if you have Amazon Prime, you also get Twitch Prime sub. So yeah, so you can always throw that at me, and that enters you into the giveaway as well. So side note there for this beautiful Amazon tablet. Just resubbed. Yes, Thea! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hooray! Twitch Prime, boys. Not sure why I didn't announce. I don't know. That's weird. Well, thanks for the resub, Vega. Okay, so back to the Jasper conversation. Yeah, so I agree. I thought it was interesting. It's too bad that Lady Snowfox went to, I think, have dinner, she said, because Snowfox is the only, I think, other one who's read at least up to this part in the book. And she said something in chat that I literally was like, oh no.
She was a fan of Jasper.
Yeah, she was just like, what? No, she said, no. She said Jasper was a dick or something. Hold on, let me scroll up. Oh, can I scroll up far enough? I don't know. Yeah, I can't scroll up far enough. No, she said something like Jasper that jerk or something. Like, no, she said something very, very anti-Jasper, which, okay, maybe later in the school Jasper starts to pick on Ged a little bit, but honestly, I think Ged brought it on himself. Like, Ged was an asshole to Jasper first, and then that got Jasper to probably hate him. I think all of this is Ged's fault.
I can agree.
Yeah. So, damn it, Snowfox, why isn't she here? Okay, so in the school, he learns a lot of little words. He learns some bigger words. Most of what they learn is illusions, but as time goes on... Oh, so I guess we should mention Vetch. Okay, so the other character, and one thing that Snowfox pointed out is there's only two friends. Oh, Vega, there's the announcement. Yay! So there's only two friends. What story are you talking about? So Mule, this month for our book club, we read, if you do exclamation point, but thank you, Tony. This month for our book club, we read The Wizard of Earthsea, which is by Ursula K. Le Guin. How bad was this book? Vega, it was terrible. I do not recommend it to anybody. It was not good. Do not read it. I did consider participating. This one's not good. The one we're reading for September for the book club in early October so far is very good. I like it a lot. I'm only on chapter 3, but but we'll talk about that later. Our giveaway's in 28 minutes. But Vega, you might like the next one. It's called Mistborn. It's much better. Consider trophy for you. Yeah. I'm also sad I can't join the Discord chat. Oh, well, the Discord chat is for people who read the book, which today it's just me and ID. It's a perk of the people who actually read the book to actually get to talk to me about it. Ouch. I don't think that is an ouch. I think that's totally fair. ID, don't you think so?
There's just not going to be much you can really contribute to the conversation on the book.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend reading next month's book because it's so far, Jess is a couple chapters in, I'm a couple chapters in, and it is amazing.
Yeah, it's really good so far.
And it also has a super unique magic system if you're into well-developed magic systems.
Yeah. Oh, so Vega, ouch on how many people read it. Yeah, I actually... Identity knows because me and my mods, him, Identity, and Tony and Hato Twitch, we were talking about this stream yesterday in our super private mod chat. And honestly, I was really kind of upset yesterday thinking about having this stream today because so many people were excited. Baker-based Mistborn is super awesome. Yeah, it's really good so far. So many people sounded really excited about the book club and nobody except me and Identity read it. So I was pretty bummed out, but I was like, you know what? It's a brand new thing we're doing. This is the first one we've done, and I'm not going to be upset about it because it's a thing that I enjoy. I'm really enjoying this conversation with ID. I'm really enjoying this conversation with you guys about this book I read. I really enjoyed that this made me committed to reading a book. And Umbreon, how's it going? Thank you for the host. And honestly, I haven't been reading lately, and I really like that this kind of gave me the push that I needed. So yeah, I really like this, and I'm not going to be bummed out that not a lot of people read it, because I'm going to keep doing these streams, even if me and ID are the only ones reading the damn book. So, going back to Mule, Wiriest Mule, Can you suggest a book? So from what I have learned from last month, I think what will happen is you can suggest a book if you read the last one. So a lot of people suggested books for this last one. I ended up picking it. I picked this really trash book that I fucking hated, but I picked the last one. Oh, Umbreon, you have a potential girlfriend. But yeah, since honestly, like, nobody really read it, I don't want to kind of have a repeat of somebody picks the book, but then they don't even participate in the book club. So if you read the last book, you have the opportunity to pick the next one. So Identity Crisis actually picked the book for this next one, which is a book called Mistborn. The author is Brandon Saunders? Brandon Sanderson. The book is called Mistborn. So it's already in our Discord. Our Discord has a channel for, oh, thank you, Identity. Yeah, so our Discord has a channel for the book announcements, so it's already there. You have plenty of time to read it, even though it is bigger than this last one. The next book club's not until October 5th, so I think it's like 6 weeks rather than 4 weeks. So there's plenty of time to read it, and it is a really, really good read so far. I'm only 3 chapters in, though. Yes, everyone is critically acclaiming the German women. I myself was born in Germany, so I say, well done, Luke. Good choice. So back to the book discussion, now that we got all the business out of the way. The business. So we were up, so this book club has kind of become an extended conversation synopsis of the book, since many of the people, and by many I mean all of the people watching, have not read the book, which I'm kind of okay with that. So yeah, we're up to the point in the book. He's grown up, he's left his small town, he went with his first master and lived with his first master, didn't learn much because he's an impetuous child. He's now at the school for wizards, and he's learning more words. He's learning mostly small-time illusions. He's bored by it. He's learning very quickly. And some of the master mages start to realize he has more power than all the other students. And they start to comment on how talented he is and how much potential he has. And a couple of them start to teach him more and more in-depth spells and things. Mistborn, the Final Empire. Yes, Vega, that is it. Mistborn, the Final Empire, which, by the way, the first chapter, damn, slaves be getting beat in that book. Okay, so he starts to learn more than his peers, and he gets access to books with, like, really powerful spells in it. One of them being, dun, 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 spells to raise the dead. You think he would have learned his lesson, right, ID?
It's beyond frustrating.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, the author has to realize what they're doing to... I mean, he's an idiot kid. He almost died the first time. So, of course I'm going to do this, because I want to show up this kid that is a year or two ahead of me in school.
Yeah.
And I just need to prove my worth to him.
Yeah.
Which just is... It's so frustrating because
so
A,
stupid.
You've already learned that lesson, but B, you're doing it to somebody that you're letting push your buttons when you don't even respect them in the first place. So why do you have a need to, like, show him up?
Yeah.
You don't even like him.
Yeah. Yeah, so what Identity's talking about, well, yeah, Vega, it's 24 hours on Audible. Yeah, that makes about sense. I think it's like 600-something pages, so it is a longer book. I'm okay with that this time because, again, the only people that really committed last time were me and Identity, and we're both okay with a 600-page book. But, yeah, it actually is a very fluid read, so I think it'll go faster than you feel it will, considering it's about 600 pages, but... it's gonna be good. Hey Tulane, just chatting streamer. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Well, tonight is our book club. And for subs, you have a chance to win this Amazon Fire e-reader tablet. Ding, 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 ding. So if you're a current sub, enter the giveaway. If you're not a current sub, you can enter the giveaway, but you can only win if you sub tonight. So good luck to everyone! ! Giveaway to enter to win. Yeah, so what happens in his school year? So he gets access to all these powerful spells that his peers don't have access to. His peers are only learning illusions. So we come back to the character Jasper that we all hate because Ged is a dick to Jasper, and Ged is constantly just feeling like Jasper's always talking down to him, and he always is self-conscious. And hey, G26, what up? Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Book Club. Audible has where you get 2 free books. Hey, so anybody who's curious, if you want to listen to the book, I have listened to bits of it while I did laundry, and the Audible version of Mistborn is quite enjoyable. I've enjoyed it quite a bit so far. So it sounds like you can get it for free if you sign up for Audible. Yeah, I agree, ID. Okay, so Jasper and Ged's rivalry grows more and more as the book goes on, and I honestly feel like it's fueled by Ged, because every turn of a page, Ged is self-conscious. One, you're beautiful. Thanks, G26. Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. Well, I wouldn't know, but I imagine. In my head, you're really attractive. So Ged is constantly feeling insecure and insufficient to Jasper, and so that just drives a wedge between them more and more and more and more and more, which is like fucking Ged's fault. And so Jasper starts feeding into this also, because they're both boys, right? They're only like between 13, 15, 16. Looking for more streamers. Excellent, G26. I'm glad you're here. And so this rivalry just keeps growing, but it's a young boys rivalry, right? It's a fucking pissing contest. It's a pissing contest, and they're just pissing on each other's dicks. Like, it's stupid. Is that how a pissing contest works? I'm not sure. I think it is. I don't have a penis. And so, as the things go on, Jasper is now starting to poke at Ged. And he's like, oh, show us what you can do. I thought you were powerful. I thought you were more powerful than this. Like, everyone's talking about you being so powerful. Show us what you got. And so then, as the progression goes, Ged finally is sick of getting pushed by Jasper. So he goes and he tries to learn the spell to raise the dead. Ain't nobody should be raising the dead. That is dangerous shit. Especially because this book and this magic is all about balance and counterbalance. And like, so if you raise the dead, what's the balance to that, right? Like, you can't just raise the dead and not have any counterbalance to that. So motherfucker tries to raise the dead. What happens? Shit goes wrong. What? What's that you say? And this, for me, is probably the height of the excitement and interest in the book. And from this point on, the book goes downhill and goes right into the garbage fire that I feel like this book was as it finished. Now, Ged tries to raise the dead. The spell goes terribly wrong, and he releases into the world a shadow, some evil thing from beyond the dead, as he opens the door of the dead, basically. So yeah, he does raise this woman from, he brings a ghost into fruition somehow. Right, Baker Base, I know. Are we shocked? Raising the dead. Not good, people. Not good. So, raises the dead. It kind of works. Everyone's freaked the fuck out. But then this evil thing comes through the door, comes at him. So I've had the Twitch app on my phone for 2 months already. I'm not a streamer. I just watch. I like to watch too. I was following 1,455 streamers, but now I follow you and it's 1,456. Try to follow 2,000 streamers. Wow! That's more than I follow. And I watch a lot of Twitch. G26, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
So that's not something that the teachers actually taught them. That's something he got out of a book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think I
he has access to all the literature, and it's something he searched out on his own.
Yeah. So Sog, thanks Identity for catching that confusion there. I think I kind of mentioned it, but maybe I didn't make it clear. The students are only taught illusions, right? The magic where I said like they can create an apple and they can feel it and bite it, but there's no sustenance. It's not a real apple. They can only make illusions. Except master mages and masters of magecraft can learn more powerful spells. And because, hey Agent Vesper, how's it going? Yes, G26, I played Fall Guys. It's way fun. We're going to probably play Fall Guys week after next. Oh, wait, or in 3 weeks. We're playing Fall Guys again soon. Who on earth does he side with on Stream Raiders? Oh, yeah. So all of the students are only learning illusions, baby magic. They learn baby magic. But because Ged has the potential to be a great mage, the mage masters have given him access to books with real dangerous magic in them. And Ged takes that privilege and he turns that into something disgusting. Oh, I think it's social. There you go, G26. So he takes advantage of the fact that he has now access to these books and uses it for his own vanity. Uses it because he wants to prove to Jasper that he's a big bad ass mage, which he's not. He's a fucking child. So he tries to do this spell, lets this evil shadow into the world, and then basically goes into like a fucking coma. I mean, right? ID like a magic coma.
Yeah, and it would be good to, so as he's saying this incantation to basically call forth something from the dead realm.
Yeah.
It hops on his face and is like clawing at him, going to kill him.
Yeah.
And the Archmage, which is the highest level mage of the land, happens to have followed them outside, mage. Was able to get the thing off of him and basically save his life.
Yeah, that's true. And his face gets all scratched up and scarred and fucked up. And now he's like an ugly, half scarred man. And girl, you must be 25 years old. Girl, G26, don't you be coming up in here flirting. Actually, you know what? Come up in here and flirt. I'm going to drop some flirts on you, G26. G26, you must be 26 years old. yeah. So the Archmage, like the master mage of the entire universe that this book is, that we know as of this point, has to come and save Ged. This shadow monster that he's like clawing his face and attacking him. He's dumbass. He is a dumbass. So he goes into a coma, loses like a year of his life, is behind on his studies. But you know what? He comes out of it. It's fine. He's weak. Can't walk so good. I mean, nothing that interesting, honestly. Like, he has to stay in, like, you know, the mage version of a hospital, like the healer's dungeon for a long time. Spoiler alert. Oh, sorry. I guess I should have disclaimed we are going to talk about the whole book. This is book club. This is not a, we're going to just make hints. Book club, we're going to talk about all of it. So if you don't want spoilers, you either mute it and just look at my beautiful face, talking with my hands like I do, or you don't watch. But please watch. But also, it's a shitty book. Don't read it. Don't do it. Identity, do you recommend this book?
Vega, don't waste your time. Start reading Mistborn. It's way better.
Mistborn's good. That's the next month. Read that one. Happy early birthday, G26. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, G26. Happy birthday. Wait, in October? Oh, it's too early. I'll sing to you in October. You don't get it yet. To be continued. So he was in this coma. He comes out of the coma. He goes back to his schooling. That's all that happens. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, he kind of gets reprimanded in the sense that the mages are just like, y'all, you should not have. And when he talks to, like, you know, some of the master mages, are all of the books going to be fiction? No, not necessarily. I mean, we've only done this once, and this book was fiction. Mistborn is also a fantasy fiction. That's just kind of how it has worked out so far, but we're only 2 books in, so I am open to any and all. I really like memoirs. Memoirs is actually my favorite genre. So I'm always down for a good memoir. So he comes out of his coma, blah, 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 fast forward. So the only really reprimand he gets is not really a reprimand, more of like a warning for his own safety. And so this master mage is like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to kick you out because you're not safe out there. I need you to keep learning more magic, and I need you to keep learning how to protect yourself from the evil that you've let out into the world. This thing that you released, this shadow beast, this thing we don't even know what it is. We don't know its name, which to mages, that's a big deal, right? Because magic is based on knowing names. And so when the Master Mage is talking to him, he's basically like, we don't know its name. You've let it out into the world, and it's going to come for you. It's going to come for you, and it's going to kill you. Unless you learn your craft, you learn how to be a better mage, you learn how to control it, and you learn how to defend yourself. And so the Master Mage is basically like, hey, Clax, what's up? How's it going? So the Master Mage is basically like, so no, of course we're not going to kick you out. In fact, we're going to do the opposite. We're not going to kick you out. We're going to insist you stay for your own safety. Because if you leave, that thing's going to find you, going to kill you. You're going to die. Because you're a dumbass son of a bitch. He said, I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting. So, yeah. So then I guess he just kind of finishes his studies. I don't know. I don't think there was anything that remarkable about like the rest of his time at school. He just learns more shit. Okay, he's a little behind. He's got to catch up. He kind of learns a little humility. He keeps to himself. He doesn't talk anymore. What do you think?
Yeah, so there's kind of a graduation system at the school where, like...
Yes, Sog. He's an idiot.
You go through testing, and some people wind up becoming, like, full-fledged mages, while other are more of, like...
Don't Clax, don't read it.
Wizards,
it's
but
so
they don't get their mage staff. So they never become realized in their true power. And so he doesn't even get to that point of his schooling to where
True.
they've promoted him or not, and he just decides that there's protections because of all the mages there's protections that can keep the shadow thing that he brought out, can't get to him while he's there, but he just decides that what's the point of my life if I'm gonna just stay hidden like this, and that kind of prompts him to just go out into the world. He just couldn't continue with that path.
Right. Yeah, and that is a good point. Yeah, I guess I kind of glossed over that because the whole part of the book I just kind of felt a little bit slow. But yeah, he basically is showing yet again he has not really grown up, and he's an impetuous child, and he's impatient, and he's basically like, I don't want to stay here and just protect myself. I'm gonna go out into the world. Like, so yeah, he doesn't even finish what he is set out to do, because he still hasn't learned patience and how to be careful and how to be thoughtful and slow. He'll never learn this shit, ever.
I know, and just starting Mistborn, you're reading Vin as a main character compared to him, and it's like...
Oh, night and day.
This is a main character you can root for.
Yeah,
because
night and day, too. She's so careful and thoughtful, and he is so impatient and childish. And they both are kind of like abused children, you know? So it's not like that's an excuse. Vin is definitely slapped around. Okay, no, we're not talking about Mistborn. No. You guys, next month's book is so good. Well, so far. I can't vouch for the whole thing, but... I didn't think I did, but also reminded me I need to read one of these books ordered earlier in the pandemic. Agent Vesper, read with us. This next month, yeah, so it's Mistborn. It's in our Discord already, and I'll update the exclamation point book at the end of this stream. But yeah, it's really good so far. So I just checked out the local library, and they have Mistborn available to check out. Oh, nice! Yeah, and so I should mention that to people that are kind of interested, but they don't want to pay for it. A lot of libraries will give you the ability to rent a digital copy of it for free, right? Just like you would check out the hard book. And so check your local library online. I know mine does. If you live in any major city, I live in a smaller town, and my library still has the ability to do digital checkouts. So definitely look into that, because you can get it right on. You can get it right on your Fire Kindle, or not Kindle. Sorry, that's just the e-reader. So the Fire is the one that's an e-reader and a tablet. The Kindle is only an e-reader. So I'm giving away the Fire, which is the e-reader / tablet. But yeah, you can download the library app right on your e-reader, and you don't have to pay for it. It's pretty great. So all the copies are checked out. Yeah, I've heard Mistborn's very good. It's very popular. So the whole book of Mistborn is good. Oh, good, Baker Base. So Baker, you should do the book club with us next month since you've read it already, or you could read it again with us. Okay, so fast forwarding a bit, and we should probably think towards wrapping it up, which honestly, I'm not mad about, because the end of the book I hated. Actually, from this point on, I hated the rest of the book. And so I'm not going to have a lot to say other than, in fact, I'm just going to summarize the entire rest of the book from my opinion, and then Identity, I'll let you give your thoughts on it. He leaves the school, goes on this life journey, whatever. The shadow is chasing him everywhere. It's really scary for him. He doesn't know how to stop the shadow. There's some dragon stuff. The dragon stuff was kind of cool, but also I don't feel like it really furthered the story. He does fight some dragons. That's cool. But the bulk of the story from when he leaves school is shadows chasing him everywhere. Then he finds out he has to chase the shadow. He then chases the shadow forever. He's in a boat. His friend Vetch joins him. They're on this sea journey forever. It's boring. They go to all these different islands. They encounter people that you don't really learn that much about. It's like Gulliver's Travels, but only in like 30 pages. And then finally they find the shadow, and he fights it very anticlimactically, and that's it. That's all. I don't know. ID, what do you think of the rest of the book? Like, honestly, from this point forward is where I just was like, I struggled to finish it.
So I don't want to drag it on because we're trying to wrap up, but some themes I noticed. So he goes to work at a local village as like their wizard, kind of a lower level person.
Yeah.
And he does, healings and repairs and stuff like that. And then he decides he needs to like run because the shadow's going to come and ravage the whole village. So his job there was to protect him from dragons. He goes and he kills like 5 dragons.
Baby dragons. Baby dragons.
And then the Dragon Lord, he knows the Dragon Lord's name off of a guess. Super lucky.
Well, no. It wasn't a guess, actually. It was. I thought this part was clever. Okay, so we will talk about this part a little bit, since you're going into depth on the dragon part that I wasn't going to. But he didn't just lucky guess the dragon's name. He guessed it with the dragon's name, but in a very clever way, because in all of his studies, so in those books that he was giving that the other students at the magic school didn't get, he read a lot of lore and a lot of stories about mage history. And he read about a very ancient dragon that was, demolishing town, like a very, very dangerous ancient dragon. And he read the story of a great mage who vanquished him or whatever, drove him away. And he supposed that this dragon he was encountering was that same dragon. And so he put like 2 pieces of the puzzle together and was like, well, it's a risk, but I'm gonna take a guess that this is the same dragon that other mage battled many, many, many years ago. And it turns out he was right. So it was a guess, kind of, but it was a very educated guess and a very scholarly guess. So I actually kind of liked that.
But at that point, the dragon's like, I can tell you the name of the thing that's chasing you.
Oh, right.
And
right.
He chooses to not accept that, which I think the author is trying to use this as showing development, as he's being more cautious with his decisions.
Yeah, for sure that is what the author was doing there. And I don't disagree with that. So yeah, the dragon that he's going to battle is threatening the village that he was working for. His village, his new home. The dragon was a threat to them. And so he goes to do battle with this dragon, but turns out having a conversation with the dragon instead. And the dragon strikes a deal with him. And the deal is, I'll tell you the shadow's true name, right? So that basically saying I'll give you magical power over the shadow. But Ged chooses no. That's not the deal I want to make. The deal I want to make is you will swear to me you'll never go, threaten my village, basically, or you'll never go to shore because he's on an island. And so Ged selflessly does not learn the name of the shadow, which is really important, does not obtain magical power over the dangerous shadow, and instead chooses to save the village of people. Yeah, important character development, but it was kind of rushed, and it seemed kind of unimportant because it also didn't change his journey. He still went after the shadow.
Right. I think that they were trying to sprinkle it in because then it's paralleled right after this. The shadow appears again. He runs, and he winds up waking up in this castle. And I thought that the enchantress from like chapter 1, I thought that was her with the much older husband.
I thought that was going to be her too.
I think it was her.
You think?
She tries to convince him that this stone can like give you the answers, and so he just had like this dragon offering, and he took the more hesitant approach, and then in the castle he has the option of touching the stone, which it turns out the stone would have taken control of him.
Yeah.
But he shows reserve there, and he starts to like back to Ojin. He kind of is channeling how, and it wasn't until he like stopped talking and he was listening to the words that she was saying that he realized there's okay, this is definitely something else going on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Development, it was very rushed, but at this point I'm trying to just say some redeeming qualities. Like I'm picking at what's left to pick there to find something.
Yeah, no, I mean that's an important part. I said I would probably rush through the end of it because I just was so over the book at this point, and I just was really struggling to finish it. But I think there are some important, lessons that Ged learns in this part. And yeah, you bring up a good point of once he stopped and actually listened. So finally learning from his first master, Ojin, and finally learning the lesson of you need to listen to the world. To be a great mage, you need to be a better listener than you are a talker. You need to slow down and take in everything around you. And I think he does... Oh, good, Vega, I'm glad. I think he does finally do that, and that saves his life, I think. But I just felt like that whole section was just... I don't know, you're right. You're right, it had some important character development, but it felt rushed. It felt just not well done. I wasn't like turning the page anxiously. I was turning the page like, oh, can we get to some interesting stuff, please? Hey, Benjo, how's it going?
But then, yeah, the whole adventure, basically after that, he finds Vetch. They go to chase down the shadow. And the end of it being the way to defeat his shadow is to realize that it's just
the
himself,
shadow is part of him,
and I can just name it with my own name, and then it's just no longer a threat. It's so anticlimactic.
It is.
And it was such a piece to build up to, and then the very last chapter of the book is them leaving that place and basically, oh hey, he grew up to be the most powerful wizard ever. He became Markmaid.
Last sentence in the book is just, and then he became the most powerful mage in the world. Period. End of book.
It was annoying.
Yeah, it was really annoying.
It's hard to come at it with the mindset of like a younger reader, but I think the concepts described in it for a younger reader, it works.
Yeah, this might not get to me in time. Oh, Vega. Boo. 37 people ahead of you. Well, good luck, Vega. You could just buy it. I think I bought it on my Amazon Fire tablet. That's going to be our giveaway right now. See? Come on, Jessica. There. See? See? Giveaway. It says, let's go. The timer has gone off. It's time for the giveaway. But yeah, you can buy it off of Amazon for like $9. It's really, come on, it's really inexpensive. I don't. I'm just trying to plug my giveaway. Okay, so that does bring me to the giveaway part of this stream before we wrap up and say our goodbyes, because I want to hold true to the timeline, because you do have to be present in chat to win, and I hope that the people that entered will come back right now in case they win, because if you're not in chat and you don't say yay, I claim my goodness, I claim my prize, if you don't claim it, then I will re-roll for the next person. So one last hurrah. If you haven't entered already, do ! Giveaway. We're giving away the Amazon Fire e-reader tablet. Yo, Sanderson is dope. Yeah, Kara, that's what we're reading for next book club. If you're not in chat, you get nada. True. So do ! Giveaway to enter if you haven't already. And just as a reminder, I think it will let you enter, but the only people who are eligible to win are current subs. So you have just a couple minutes before I do the roll to either sub or enter the giveaway. Drum roll, please. That was the worst drum roll I think ever. I didn't plan that out well. Here we go. Drum roll. Oh, hi. Hey, Armor 87. You're just in time for the giveaway. Identity, did you enter? Yeah, you did enter. I was going to say, or you probably have an e-reader, don't you? Hello? I think I entered.
Oh, sorry, I responded.
Yeah, no, I do not. Oh, you don't? Oh, I hope you win since you're the only one who read the book. Hey, Chala, congrats on your sub and your entry into the drawing. Okay, I'm going to pull open my little thingy here. I'm going to pull open my thingy. Okay, so right now there are 20 entries. There are 20 people entered in the drawing. Hard copies are due Audible. Yeah, you know, I used to really be a bookish kind of person too. I really liked to feel a book in my hand and like, you know, flip it. But honestly, once you go e-reader, you never go back. It's so good. Chala didn't enter. Yeah, wait, no, Chala might have already entered. Let me see. Yeah, Chala's entered. He's in the running. All right, let me see. Actually, I might be able to have this up on the screen. Whoops, not that one. There we go. So this is what it looks like on my end. This is the back end. MIN sliced bread. I do see you, sliced bread. Yep, you're right here. There you are. There's Chala. Kara's in. Agent Vesper. G26. Although I think G26 you are entered, but unfortunately you won't win unless you're a sub. So thank you. I love you. Good night. If I do win, someone else can have it. Well, so if you win and you don't want it, I don't know why you entered, first of all, but if you win and you don't want it, I guess you can pick who you give it away to. I think that's totally fair because it is yours fair and square, and if you decide to gift it to somebody, you can definitely do that. So I think it is time. I don't think anybody else is going to enter. I'm very excited about this. This is our first like big giveaway that we've ever done. So, and I think it's really nice. So this is my first ebook that I've read on my new Amazon Fire, and I really enjoyed it. So, and it has the app, the Audible app right in it too. So if you're like me, so I like to read books, but I also like to listen to the books while I do chores and things. If you like that, then actually the Fire tablet is better than the Kindle. So the Kindle is only an e-reader. It's just a beautiful, beautiful e-reader book. But this tablet has the Audible app, and it's got the e-reader. You can surf the internet too. I don't actually use mine for that, but it's got both in one. So you can go back and forth between your Audible audiobook and reading it pretty seamlessly. So that I really, really like about the Amazon Fire. Okay, enough of this. Okay, close the entries. Here we go. Oh, Roki! Should we give Roki a chance? So Roki, we were just about to do our giveaway. I don't know if you care about an Amazon e-reader. We're just about to do it. It's only for current subs, so if you do want to enter, you have one last second to both sub and enter the drawing. But wait, Chala. Oh, that's so weird, Chala. Your little sub badge went away. Yeah. So I'm gonna close the entries. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Does it come uploaded with tube8.com? What's tube 8? Should I Google it? No, Boojanky, why would you say that? Is it pornography? Boogie, don't say that stuff on my stream because I will Google it and then I will get banned and then nobody gets an e-reader because I'll be banned. I thought it was YouTube. Oh, come on, Booj. Okay, here we go. Closing entries for fancy people. Okay, it is closed. Drum roll, please. Here's how I pick the winner. Are you guys excited? Here we go. Eldana! Is Eldana in chat? Oh, she only gets it if she's here. She gets like 5 seconds. Oh, she's here! Oh my god, I can't hear, but thank you. Oh, that's so not fair. She wanted just chatting too. Yay! Can we get a bunch of hype in the chat? Hype, 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 hype. Oh my gosh. Can you guys just explode the chat with hype right now? Our first giveaway. Hype, hype, hype. Our first giveaway, and Eldana's the one who won. That's so exciting. Congratulations, Eldana. Oh, identity. I wanted you to have it. But you like books, so that's okay. Hype, congrats, Eldana. That's so exciting. So, Eldana, what you need to do is DM me on... I'm going to DM you right now on Discord. That's so exciting. Congratulations. And now I'm going to know where you live. This was a trap. This was a trap to give me a new person to stalk. Eldana, you is the winner. Hey, that was so much fun. Oh my god. I love doing giveaways. This was like, Jess likes to harvest organs. I do. That's toss, by the way? What's toss? What did I say? Don't clip it. Whatever I said. I don't know. Okay, well, to get personal info from chat. I am not. I'm getting personal info from Discord. Totally different. How else would I do a giveaway? It's a raffle, not in Twitch. That's true. It's Streamlabs OBS. Well, whatever. Anyways, Eldana, congratulations. You are the winner of this wonderful Amazon tablet, and it comes with bite marks included. There you go. Bite marks are free. That's your free gift with your purchase. Free gift with winning. I had pancakes for dinner. That sounds great. Well, okay, so I guess let's wrap up our book discussion of this last book and I guess introduce the next book. Identity, I hope you don't mind that we rushed the end. One, I found the end really boring, and also I think I want to keep the book club streams relatively short. Just, I don't know, or maybe this will evolve. I'm not really sure. But I guess before yeah, go ahead.
We'll chat and come up with a plan. It would be good to get feedback from people in chat.
Yeah.
What they like or didn't like.
Yeah, what did you guys think about today? So this was a big experiment. Thanks, Identity, that's a good suggestion. I didn't even think to talk to the people I'm talking to. So the next book is, I can actually change the command right now. I'm gonna do it right now, right this fucking second, because we're done with Earthsea. Earthsea is dead to us. There will be no more Wizards of Earthsea, because Earthsea is a stupid book. Okay, I'm gonna go into my commands. I'm gonna do it. It's your boy, JessFalco, gonna change the commands right now. And the next book is called Mistborn. I've already started it, and it is fucking good. Oh, somebody already changed it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Which mod is so on top of their shit? Who, Identity, did you do this? I don't know which of you did this, but it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so the next book is called Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. We're gonna not, so you have a long time to read it. It is girthy, but you know, your boy JessFalco, she likes the girth. This last book was a little short for my taste. I read it pretty much in one day. I think I read it in 2 days. We'll say I read it in 2 days. So I will be looking forward to having a little bit of a longer book. ID is #1 book club mod. Dang, ID, so good. Thank you so much. So yeah, I could listen to you talk once a month. Sounds good. I.e. Hayden will never read the books. That's okay. I appreciate you hanging out. So yeah, what did you guys think? Like, what did you like? What did you not like? What would you like to see for the next book club? Just give me all of your thoughts and desires and deepest secrets in the chat right now. I wish it was a waffle. Yep. The one app I mentioned is viewer discretion must be advised. Oh. Ooh, Janky, why are you coming in here making problems? I've already done it, Jess. I've done it. You're so good. Hype new book. Yes, sliced bread, and it's a good one. It's not a garbage fire like this last one that I picked. Identity picked it, and he's got better taste than me. Well, okay, I didn't know anything about Earthsea when I picked it, so let's not be so hard on me. Like seeing you be happy and expressing your nerdy side. Oh, thanks, Chala. Can you read like an IKEA furniture instruction in a sexy voice? Do I have any furniture instructions? I might. You know, I might. I might have some furniture instructions. Let's see. Furniture. Oh yeah. Look, you request it and I deliver. IKEA Furniture by JessFalco. Tonight's episode. Lack, as in, are you lacking love? Are you lacking inspiration? Are you lacking this table in your house? Learn how to build it now. Page 1. This is what you'll need to build lack. If you lack any of these, you won't have lack to build. That's fucking sad. Page 2. There's a dude. He's talking about screwdrivers. I think he's asking you, do you want to screw? Do you want to screw twice? Let's do the damn thing. Let's raid your boy, Lamb Chops. Thanks again for everybody for hanging out on my first Just Chatting. It was a lot of fun. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. Maybe I'm a Just Chatting streamer now. Maybe I'll give up video games forever. Maybe I won't even play World of Warcraft. Maybe I'll get rid of my sub. Does anybody want my characters? Who wants a level 120 mage? My gear's okay. It's not the best gear, but it's decent. It's like mid-range. It's definitely not starter gear. Like, I've got some good stuff. I think my eye level's like, I don't know, 570 or something. Maybe 565. I don't know. I think I'll just give up video games forever. Just read books every day. Yeah. Sounds good. Well, let's do the damn thing. Yeah? 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 That eye level. Oh, the eye level? Oh, the no, not eye level. Eye level. You know what I mean. Alright, you guys, load up the panties. Load them up, let's do it. All right, load them up. Get my panties out. If you've got the butt, get the butt out. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do raid, butt. Raid, butt. Rinse and repeat. Raid, butt. Raid, butt. It's like kiss some panties, and butt. Sorry, was that loud? Sorry. I got really excited. Thanks for the stream. Identity, thank you so much. I'm really glad you read the book. Otherwise, I would have just thrown this whole stream out. Let's go, you guys. Thanks again. Happy Monday. Great start to the week. I'll see you on Wednesday. We'll do the raffle for Just Saying. Probably record Just Saying on Friday, hopefully, Friday or Saturday, to just knock it out of the park because it's been a while since I've